like, is this really what I want to do? It's like, is this the rest of my life? Like, really? And it's just sort of this, I don't want to call it a midlife crisis or existential crisis, but it's a reckoning. It's a reckoning of, I've worked really freaking hard to get here. Is this really where I want to be now?
Wendy Meadows, welcome to the You Are a Lawyer podcast. How are you today?
I am good, cold, freezing cold, but I'm good.
And where are you located? Where are you based?
I'm based Baltimore, Maryland.
Oh, I'm in Ohio, Columbus, Ohio.
Oh.
Yes, it's very cold.
Mm-hmm. Like I don't remember a snow like this that has stuck around like this because it's still like 6 degrees outside. So it's wild.
Yeah, my kiddo is in kindergarten and she's been out of school this entire week. And she is really fun. So we enjoy to be around her. But I'm like, man, tired because I'm trying to be teacher, but also it's a snow day. But like a snow day is only fun for like 2 days. 5 days, you're just like, is there more TV we could possibly watch?
When they are older,
I know. I know.
We think it's like such a big deal at the time, right? Like everything's such a big deal. We're going to screw them up if we do it this way or that way. And they're fine. They're fine. You know?
I know. Yeah. As long as they have that love and attention, they can get through everything else because everything is figure it outable.
Yes.
Which
great
being
book.
a lawyer has taught me, right? So Wendy, I want to jump right into it just because I'm looking at your book. It's so cool. You told me you were going to send this to me and I still forgot. And I'm at my P.O. box like, oh my God, I got a package. Because I do book reviews on YouTube, but not only nonfiction, I do fiction and like kids and juvenile books and all of it. And so I was like, oh, an author sent me a book. And I was flipping through. Of course, I skipped the entire front page where you wrote me a message. So let's talk about your book. I think that the lawyer to author pipeline is pretty strong. I think being a lawyer makes you a storyteller, but that doesn't make you an author. So let's talk about your book. What made you decide to write the book?
Oh, goodness. So I always knew I had a book in me. I just never knew what it was. Right. But I knew I had it in me. I knew I wanted to bring my coaching to people in a way that was like affordable, palatable, easy. Like they could take all the principles that I have learned throughout the past years, you know, and they could have it in book form and do it on their own. But really, like after it was done, and I was like, okay, who is this book for? The book was for Wendy in 2015. Because like Wendy in 2015, a very different Wendy than she is in 2026, a very different Wendy than she wrote when she wrote that book. And it was like, if I could give it to myself and be like, you're going to be okay. You're going to get out of this hole. Like you're going to get out of the 50 Shades of Grey, not the fun kind. Here's the manual on how to do it and like proof that it works. And if you just take these steps, you'll get there. It was for her. It was for that woman that I know so many of us like fall into like the same trap.
Yeah. So the title, Sparkle and Grit. Right?
Yeah.
Because grit, you can be tough, you can be strong, but you can still sparkle, right? Or like even diamonds, some of the toughest materials you'll ever find, incredibly sparkle and beautiful. So is that where the title came from? Did you have the title before you started writing the book?
Yes. So fun story. So, well, and also like I believe with sparkle and grit, you can achieve anything, right? Like sparkle, I look at sparkle is like the motivation, the thing in your path designed to wake you up, right? The like, I'm excited about this. I want to do this. It's like the thing that like hits you in the stomach, like, oh, I need to take action, right? Like it's like that woo woo, I'm ready to go. But if you just have those feelings, and if you're just in sparkle mode, like, oh yay, like fun, but like you're not actually putting any oomph behind it, like it's just a dream. It's like a dream. It's gonna fall flat on its face. It's gonna go nowhere. And then grit is, I look at grit too as like very small, baby step after baby step after baby step designed to make sure that your sparkle like actualizes and like becomes what you want it to be. So I believe you need both, right? You can't have one without the other in order like to achieve success in anything. But the name came from, so I was a Beachbody coach way back when, back when Beachbody was like booming and all their age. And my team name was Sparkle and Grit. That's what I called my women that, you know, were coaches like with me. It's the same thing, because what I found when I took a step outside of the law, right? Because like in the law, we are very like black and white, and like we're put into this like box that everything has to be this way. And it can be a little bit drab, depending on what kind of law you practice, or even just like sometimes the people you surround yourself with, like we have to like walk a certain line so tightly, right? And we're not allowed to fall off. And then when you start to dabble in other professions and other areas, and this was like the fitness industry, it was like fitness and entrepreneurship and all this other stuff. And I would go into different kinds of conferences, like a legal conference and then to like an entrepreneurship conference. I'm like, ooh, these people are sparkly. There's just like a sparkly effervescence about them. And I'm like, and they're doing well. They were doing well professionally. They're doing well with their goals. And I'm like, I want to be like the sparkly people. The sparkly people, like they know what it's, they know what's going on. So Sparkle, I knew wanted to be part of my team name because it's fun. I'm like, but guys, we can't just do this without the work. You got it. I wanted to send a signal to my girls, like, you got to put in the work. Like, you got to like show up, work the business, make sure you're putting your best foot forward, making sure you're growing how you want to grow. And then when I stopped Beachbody and I didn't have that sparkle and grit thing anymore to like hold and have and like be proud of, but like I loved the name and the name mattered so much to me. I was like, I could turn that into a book.
I love that. I love it so much. Earlier this week, I was on social media and I saw something and they were like, everybody has ideas, but it's only potential until you do something. And I was like, yeah, you got to have the grit. And I was like, oh, I was like, yeah, you really do need both, right? Without the sparkle, you won't attract anyone or any clients or anything. But without the grit, you're just going to be lofty. And you know what I mean? You can't survive on the sparkle alone. So.
Exactly. And you can't survive on grit alone either. And I think that's where a lot of lawyers find themselves, right? And like, that's usually when they land in my lap. Because they grit. They've worked so freaking hard and they work so hard to the point they get burnt out. And then they forget why they were like gritting so hard in the first place. There is never an end result, right? And it's never like done, I guess, until we're dead. But when you're just like grit, like that's when I find people get miserable, right? Because they forget why they started in the first place.
What happened in 2015 that was so challenging?
I think it was just a culmination of a lot of things. But it was also, I was done having kids at that point. So my kids were 3 and 1, right? Yeah, 2015, they were 3 and 1. I knew I was done. My youngest was 18 months. And it's just like, I feel like that's when you wake up. Like, and that's what I've seen in a lot of other women. Like once you're done having kids and the second's 18 months. So like you're done with the done-ish with the sleepless nights, done-ish, right? Done breastfeed, like a lot of us done breastfeeding. You're like, okay, now I can get my body back. I can start working out again. Okay, now I can go back to my career and not worry about taking time off from maternity leave. And it's just like, okay, I'm ready to plug into life again. But like, you're ready to plug into this life again. And you're like, well, wait a second, this life that I can plug into, it doesn't quite feel like how I thought it was going to feel like. And like, it's like this, like, pulling out of where you were before and like plugging into something like, is this really what I want to do? It's like, is this the rest of my life? Like, really? And it's just sort of this, I don't want to call it a midlife crisis or existential crisis, but it's a reckoning. It's a reckoning of, I've worked really freaking hard to get here. Is this really where I want to be now? And so I was like uncomfortable in my skin. I was uncomfortable in my job. I was uncomfortable in how I was showing up as a lawyer. And just uncomfortable all around. I'm like, I got to get out of this. I got to shake it. Like, it was just like, it was palpable. Like, I felt like I was drowning. And it wasn't like I was super depressed. It wasn't like anything terrible happened in 2015. It was just waking up and like looking around being like, this is the life I want.
Yeah. Can I say, or I hope you don't mind me saying, I'm glad you went through that before COVID, because that, if you had not started to resolve these, not to say it was done, but if you hadn't started to, and then COVID happened, I can imagine it would have been so much harder.
I think so. I had the lifeline of personal development, right? Like during COVID, I had the lifeline of working out and lifeline of being real with myself.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think I'm going through this period now. So I did a lot around 2020. I got married 2019. We had our daughter 2020. So then by the time the world opened and we could even enroll her in a daycare, she was 18 months. And that was hard for me because I was like, I'm going to homeschool. And I had been thinking about it before COVID. But then I got there and I was like, wait, just because you enjoy reading and learning doesn't mean you can teach another person to enjoy reading and learning. And it was hard for me to put her in daycare. Also, there wasn't the option before then, right? We were the Three Musketeers. And so then I'm like, where's my baby going? Because we like literally had her all to ourselves for 18 months. And so I remember that feeling though, because that was when I stopped working at the big law firm. And I was like, I don't want to do this. And I tried to do virtual law. And I was like, I don't want to do that either. I was like, how else can I advocate? And it was really hard for me. It was hard for our family because my husband's like, okay, but who are you now? And I'm like, I don't know. Let's figure it out. Right.
Yeah.
Is that what like got you to turn to coaching or made you realize that you could help other women?
Sure. So like as a family law attorney, and I still am just in my own way, right? I was a family law attorney. I knew I enjoyed counseling clients. My favorite part of counseling clients, I think, really was the consult in the beginning and getting to know the person and talking to them about like setting goals and what we're going to do, etc. Right? Like I loved that first initial meeting, like the intake and like where are we going and laying the path for them. I just hated litigation. Like hated it. Like hated discovery, hated worrying. Like, if a trial like looming and like the whole time up until the trial, you're worried about that one piece of evidence and how you're going to get it in. Right. Like, and I didn't like that very much. But then doing the Beachbody again was like 2015, 2016, and learning, like I was coaching women their health and fitness journey. Like, oh, I like this. Like this feels good to me. This was more aligned of who I am as a person. And then so same, like, so 2020, the COVID, right? So February, I had 3 huge trials in February. 3. Normally as a family law lawyer, we have like 1 or 2 a year. Lately more. I think it's like upticking how many people are taking their cases to trial. February I had 3, and I was like, okay, once I get through February, I'll take my vacations. And then, the world shut down. But I knew in 2020, like I had to make a change. I hired my first coach in 2020, and like we were talking, and she's like, Wendy, like you're a coach, like that's who you are. You need to figure this out. And I'm like, oh. And sometimes you just need someone else to sort of like say your innermost like secret thought like to you out loud to like have permission to like go chase it. So I became like a certified coach in 2021. And for exactly those reasons, I wanted to help other attorneys, especially burnt out lawyer moms, like know they weren't alone, plot out the path just like I had done, right? Like work, family, health, and self, like where can we like turn up the dial in each or like fine tune the dial in each. And we're basically every coaching session is like a consult, right? Because they're a different person each time almost. And again, setting goals, setting fun things for them to look at, giving them different ways of looking at life and coaching them in that way. Yeah, I just knew I was better suited for it.
And that part at the beginning, that initial intake, that is like the ooey gooey part where you're like, are we going to be a good fit? What are you talking about? Do I think I can help you? Right? Because I know during some of those sessions you're listening and you're like, oh, that's not really for me. Great meeting you, but And
that's true in the coaching world too. There are some people I know, like I'm not the coach for them. Right? Like obviously we're business owners. Like I would love everyone to be the best coach for everybody, but there are some people who are like ready to hire a coach and I might not be the best fit. And I think it's important, just like in lawyers, like when you say this isn't the right case, sometimes a coaching situation, it might not be the.
Yeah. And how do you determine that? Is that something that you just kind of learn over time?
I learn over time. It's like, it's a gut instinct. Like I know people I'm best at coaching are people probably small firms, medium firms are the people I'm best at coaching. Like I'm best at coaching to people running their own solo firms. Like I know I got her. Like I got her, I got him. Like I know exactly what they're going through. And I have had big law clients, and there are some that I've done, I think, a really good job with, like because like we just jived like on a cellular level, and like then it works even though it's 2 different kinds of law. It's still like the same kind of person. And then there's I might not be the best fit, right, for a big law firm, because it's a different beast than like what I practice now. So there might be someone out there that is better, but usually it's a gut thing. Or if like, is this person going to be coachable? Right, that's a big thing. Like, are they going to just show up every time and complain and not actually make movement, or are they ready to like take things a couple of steps ahead and keep improving?
Yeah, I love that. So the question that I keep hearing, how do you find clients? Because for a long time, I remember I was like, I don't need to be coachable. What are you talking about? Right? I'm a lawyer. I'm fine. Mm-hmm. Do you speak to the burnt out lawyer moms in a very specific way where they're just like, yeah, you can help me? Not like, oh, I'm so pitiful, I need a coach, but like, oh, you can empower me.
So to answer your first question, where do I find clients? Just like in my family law thing, it's usually referrals. It's a lot of referrals, and it's, I hired Wendy, you should too. Or on the Facebook Law Mom chats, when someone's looking for a coach, my name is usually in there half a dozen times, right? So I have a good track record in terms of people I've helped. They also want to say, hey, other people, like go to Wendy as well. And I also, here's a cool thing. And this guy hasn't hired me yet. I actually need to get back in touch with him. ChatGPT referred me my first client. How cool is that? So he was doing a search. Yeah, he was doing a search for attorneys and a search for attorneys that use Clio and teach Clio, because Clio, I'm a Clio partner. I love Clio. Like, and I help people like better manage like their Clio system. And ChatGPT told him like, hey, Wendy Meadows is the top of the list. I'm like, thanks, ChatGPT. That hasn't happened yet. But mostly I would say word of mouth.
Yeah. Okay. And so do a lot of the clients come to you because they're looking to be empowered, or they're just like, okay, I know what things have been like in my life currently. What else can it look like?
Yeah. So I have two buckets of people. So I'd say bucket one is they just feel lost. They're like, people usually say, I'm sick and tired of feeling sick and tired. Like, I know I need a change. I don't know exactly what I need, or I kind of have an idea of where I want to go. Like, I know I want to bring my practice here, or I know I need to do better at business development, or I need to increase my confidence, or I'm just not feeling right in my skin. Or I've been to therapy and my therapist says, maybe you should hire a coach. So like these things are like mulling around in their brain. And then what I like about what I give them is I don't make them just concentrate on work or just concentrate on like relationships or something. Like in our sessions, we talk about work, family, health, and self, all of it. I want to know the whole person. I want to know, how is the marriage going, right? How are you doing with your kids? Are you the mom you want to be? Are you the wife you want to be? Are you the lawyer you want to be? And are you taking care of yourself? And the longer and longer I've done this, I've gotten way better at asking the questions that I need to ask up front, because as I was starting to see it more, like some of the real wheels would come off towards like the end. And so now I know what questions to ask now. Like, are you drinking? How much are you drinking? Is this serving you? Is it hurting you? And also, and how is the marriage going? Like, because sometimes people have fallen in my lap because they're looking for something and they didn't realize really what they're looking for is probably a divorce. They didn't know that. So I'm getting much more intentional about looking at relationship with self and relationship with spouse, if there is one, in the beginning, because it's important, right? Because all four things are important. I know some coaches will only concentrate on work. What I do is I look at all of it. So like that's bucket one, just someone who's like, I just need a lifeline, right? I need a lifeline, help me out. And then bucket two are people looking to go solo. So that's more consulting than coaching, but you get both when you do that with me. So I get them solo soup to nuts. Like they want to leave their small firm. They are scared. I walk them through the breakup conversation. I walk them through setting up their business. And I'm with them for the first month of business so they actually know how to run it. But they get coaching. Like we talk about business stuff, but they get coaching during that time too. So like those are the two buckets, I'd say, primarily.
I love that. You have the two main buckets, but as you're speaking, I'm listening and I'm like, oh, she's really big on the counselor at law part of being an attorney. A lot of people overlook that part, that we are actually counselors at law. And so I think that's fun that you were able to make that look like what you wanted it to look like, be it the consulting of people that want to become solos or the coaching of people looking for the lifeline.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, it's like what I've realized when I teach my law students too is I do an adjunct professor thing too. When you go to law school, everyone's like, oh, you can use a law degree for so many things, but like you don't really know what that means at the time. You think you have all these like job opportunities, and that's not exactly the truth coming out of law school, right? Like coming out, it's not like you have all these like interesting opportunities just because you have a JD. But I think it's more as time goes on and you've gotten your feet wet in terms of practicing and you've practiced being a lawyer in different areas, because of the brain you have and because of the instant credibility I think you have being an attorney, you can now look at other businesses and people will immediately take you more seriously because you have the background of being an attorney and you can think that. So I talk about that a lot. What I tell my students is what I've been able to cobble together is take all my favorite parts of my job and just amplify them, right? And get rid of the stuff I don't like. And that you have permission to do that, especially if you're an entrepreneur, right? If you work for yourself, you have permission to do that. You don't have to do things just because like your friend down the street is doing things one way. You can do it a way that serves you and your family.
And that permission piece was the hardest for me because I started this podcast while I was still working at the big law firm. And then it started to grow and change and people started to pay me for things. I was like, am I allowed to do my own thing? And I had never considered. I was like, because I really enjoyed my job, but I kind of stumbled into entrepreneurship and was like, oh, no, it's just a side hustle. And somebody was like, but is it though? Isn't it paying your mortgage? And I was like, okay. Because I had on my lawyer hat. I am supposed to be in an office. I am supposed to wear suits and go to this and put my kid in daycare and do that. Like I was supposed to. And so then I had this time to be like, but what do you actually want? And I was like, oh man, I've never asked myself that. So
I was in that exact same boat. Like when I started my other business, the fitness business, and it started for real making money. I was like, oh, and then I didn't want to, but that's one of the reasons I left and went solo. I didn't want anyone to take it away from me. Like, well, you can't be a lawyer here and make side money. Like, I didn't want that to happen, but I also didn't want to like hurt them either with like, the time I was spending on other things.
I know. It's funny that a lot of times when people say you can do anything with a law degree, before you kind of not know yourself, because you're going to keep evolving and changing. But even if you had all those options, you wouldn't know what to do with them because you're so used to like, this is what it's supposed to look like. And those blinders like restrict us from so much. So, because it took me 5 years out of law school. I got out of school in 2015 and it was 2019 when I started the podcast, but didn't even launch till 2020. Because I was like, I have to have 8 episodes recorded. I have to know I'm not going to quit. I was like, had my full thing on. Which is funny because now 6 years into podcasting, it's fun because before then I was running it like a lawyer, but now I'm actually having fun with it. It's so, and then like to raise kids makes it extra weird because you don't know how to tell them, oh, you're going to change your mind 18 times. It's like, you still need to kind of practice the math the way they tell you, but still know it's going to keep changing.
Yep.
It's just life. I just told my therapist that the other day. I was like, when do I stop changing? And she's like,
no,
hopefully never. I'm like, yeah, I know.
Yeah, it's wild. Like, it's funny too. Like, I love the book I wrote. I love it, but I'm a different person now than the person that wrote that book, which is why I have another book in me that I've started writing, and I really need to sit down and like get more intentional with it. But so I wrote that book. I wrote that book in 2022, and we're in 26. Right, so 4 years ago. A lot has happened in my life in the last 4 years, and I'm ready to be a little bit more saucy, like a little saucier, a little sassier, a little more real. Like, I mean, I think the book is very, very real, but it's the book that was my lifeline, for the 2016 Wendy. But like now I'm like, okay, what would Wendy in 2026? I'm curious what Wendy in 2036 would write to this one. You know what I mean? It's like, that's what I'm trying to tune into now. Like, okay, where are we going from here?
I love that. I love it. Love it. So Wendy, would you call yourself a creative person even now that you're an author?
I call myself creative. I would. I'd totally call myself creative. Yes.
Okay, cool. A lot of times lawyers are like, I don't know. No, I'm just a writer. So I'm just curious.
Yeah, I'm creative. I like to look for creative solutions in my mediations too, But yeah, I'm just not, I'm not a good artist. I can't draw worth anything. But look, when I think of creativity, that's what I think of, right? I think of someone that can like sculpt, mold, and paint and draw, and I'm not that.
That's okay. You don't have to. And so you are still practicing in your own way. You do collaborative divorce, uncontested divorce, prenup agreements, and then adoptions and mediation as well. Why did you decide to keep practicing versus solely doing the coaching?
I know. So at first I thought it was because I was scared, and I thought it was a fear thing. And I can't possibly give up the law because it's still like my careers are they go like, they're kind of 50-50 in terms of income, and they fluctuate and go like this. So at first I thought I didn't want to leave the law because I was chicken, right? And it's like, oh, because I was too scared to go make coaching my full-time thing. But I've gotten more honest with myself, and that's not true. I still enjoy it. Like, I still enjoy the practice of law. I really enjoy mediation. Like, if I had pillars of what I think I stand for and what I want to like accomplish in this world, one of them is helping people divorce for less money, less time, and less emotional like suffering. And I think me as a mediator, I'm the perfect person to do that, right? I get them in and out. I save them so much money, so much time. I lighten the mood and I lighten the way, in terms so like they can like co-parent, going forward. Like that is like a mission of mine. And I would not give that up. Like I just would not. I don't want to. I enjoy it. And last night I was with a bunch of my colleagues at the Baltimore County Bar Association Black Tie Gala. We call it Law Prom. And I've been practicing with these people for 20 years, and it's those relationships too. Like they're strengthened because we've all known each other for so long. Right. And they're colleagues where we have like helped each other and settled cases together and tried cases together and grown our respect for one another. And I don't want to give it up. And so, yeah, people ask me that question all the time, like, oh, when are you, they all assume I'm just going to give up the law. Like they assume that's the next progression. And it's like, no, I'm giving up litigation. Like I'm not going to trial anymore, but I don't want to give up the parts that I think like why I was put on this planet.
Yeah. And I think that's important, right? Because that's a part of you. That's a part of you creating this life that you want to enjoy. And if the mediation is a part of it, then yeah, keep it.
I love it. Like I like real deal love it. Like I feel very blessed that I love pretty much every facet of my career, right? Like I feel very lucky.
Yeah. So I kind of have two more questions. The first one is, what is the name of your coaching business?
The LLC is Lawfully Lean, but it's just Wendy S. Meadows. Wendy S. Meadows.
Okay.
I don't know. Just, coach with Wendy. It's not super exciting.
Yeah. And do you work with clients all over the nation or only in Maryland?
All over the nation.
Okay. All right, cool. That was weird. I don't know why I didn't say nationwide.
I don't know. I do. I would love to have someone in every, have coached someone in every state. But I've, had California, Florida, Maine, Oregon, Washington. Just trying to think. DC, Maryland, Virginia.
Okay.
Carolinas. Yeah. But we need some more states in there. We need some more.
Okay, cool. And then what would you say to a young lawyer or law student about what they can do with their law degree?
And I love this question because I talk about it all the time with my adjunct kids about, what would I say? I would say this. There will come a time in their life when they get 5 years in, probably, when they are jaded and they're like, why did I become a lawyer? Why did I do this? I don't like this. It's not what I thought it was. I should have done this other thing. I have law school loans. What's wrong with me? Da, 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 da. And they're going to beat themselves up for going to law school. Maybe, right? I know I was in that category for a while. I would tell them, don't fret. Let's find a new place for you. And you will eventually come to realize that law degree is invaluable and not to take it for granted. Because I think we do after a while. We take it for granted. Oh, we went to law school because we're high achievers. Right? Yeah, I went to law school. I took the LSAT. I passed the bar. I practiced being a lawyer. And we forget that the rest of the world looks at that and be like, wow, you did all that? That's amazing. And because we are surrounded by lawyers. We don't realize this amazing feat that we have accomplished and that we have done and that we are still doing. And that again, we have instant credibility and respect from a lot of our peers and colleagues who are not attorneys. So basically not to take it for granted, granted. And if they're not happy, like you said in the very beginning of the podcast, everything's figure outable. That's one of my other favorite books. Did you read that one by Maria Forleo? Yes. So and the coolest thing about that too. So the coolest thing I think about that book is Maria talks about all the things she had to do to make ends meet while she was realizing her dream and trying to figure out what her dream was. And all important jobs, but she was a custodian, she was a server, she was she did all these things, right? For an attorney, when we want to figure out what else we want to do, we still get to make attorney money and do attorney things, letting our attorney career be the first investor in our other business. That's pretty freaking incredible. I don't want to put down other careers to other pieces, but we get to use this to then fund the next thing. Again, it's an incredible gift that people I think lose sight of sometimes.
Yeah, I think that a law degree is literally the springboard, because from there you can do anything. I mean, you could be a solo, or you can work at a big firm, or you could use your knowledge in different ways. It serves you. It's invaluable. It's absolutely invaluable. There's big things you can think of. When we bought this house, I remember they're like, oh, you don't have to read it. Just sign these places. I'm like, oh, I'll read it. It's okay. Mm-hmm. But that doesn't take away having legal counsel as well when you're doing stuff. But then also just being organized, being strategic, all of that stuff. And you had to figure out, how am I going to prepare for contracts when I know I have Civ Pro next? All of that stuff you get in law school, and you literally cannot remove it. It is ingrained in us.
And the way your brain works. I don't cross-examine, drill down people often, but if I get angry, if I get mad, if I get angry and someone does something, then it's that lawyer brain comes on, and it's I'm like a dog with a bone, and I will not let them drop it. And I'll ask the question after the question after the question. And it's a skill. It's an innate skill for us now, right? But I just think we take it for granted after a while. We don't realize that we've done something pretty amazing by doing all these things and getting ourselves to the place where we are.
Yeah, but we can do so many things, including writing books. I'm so excited. I'm definitely going to do a video book review on this because it's so good. I haven't finished the whole thing. I wanted to by this call, but it's good. And there's a lot of meat in here, but there's also a lot of notes in the margins. Okay. So it's not a sit down and just read for 30 minutes. It's a workbook. It is a workbook.
Yeah. I make you do the grit work. So
absolutely. Well, Wendy, thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate it.
Awesome. Thank you. I appreciate it so much.